Today I want to show you how to create an AI system that is going to understand all your documents. So you just upload the documents and then you're able to query them. You can use online links, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to be using OpenAI API key, and we're going to be using 11 Labs for the voice. So let me just show you a demo. So this is, I had a document I got online from Cincinnati University on AI. So I uploaded that, and that is what we are going to be using. And in the document, there was an issue on the possible applications of artificial intelligence. So you can see I asked that, and then it gave me this answer.
Artificial intelligence can be applied in various fields such as interpreting critical cardiac rhythms, detecting anomalies to prevent cyber hacking, and composing music.
So let's get ahead now and create the Lana AI. So first of all, I'll create a directory here. You can just call it Lana AI. And I'll go into Lana. But before I go into Lana, let me just create my environment. VNV. I'll call it Lana AI. So the environment has been created. Let's just move into it. I'm using Windows, so this is why I chose to use this method. Lana, sorry. So Lana, tab, Lana AI, and then I'll go into scripts. Then I'll go into activate and then P1. So there is my environment that I'll use. Then I can just change into my repository. That is a repository. So I think we are good now. So we'll be using Llama Index, we'll use OpenAI, and we'll use 11 Labs for voice. And I'll just walk through all the code one by one, and I'll provide everything for you. And I'll be using Streamlit to show the application. So let's just, sorry for this, I forgot to change to that directory here, code. Can close that one, and I think we are good here now. Let me quickly change into Lana. That's Lana AI scripts, activate, then it's in. You can go back to that CLS. So we're good now. So one thing we'll need to do is install Llama Index, pip install Llama Index. I can just show you how to find that. So just go to Google and type in. So let's just find Llama Index. Llama Index. Let's see, I think I'll use 0.10.16 Llama Index. This should be it. So pip install Llama Index, but I want version 0.10.16 because it keeps changing. There's a lot that keeps happening. So let's just wait for that to finish up. So you can see Llama Index has been installed. You'll see all the things that it comes with. There's a lot that goes under that, but we also need to install now pip install Streamlit, because that's what we'll be using. So Streamlit, if you need to find the documentation for Streamlit, just go and find Streamlit installation. So you can see here's how we install it here. And then I'll show you how to run the application. So let's give that time also to complete, and then we'll be back. So Streamlit has also been installed. So we can finally move on to our code. But before we go to our code, I just like to mention that on the repository, you can find all the code there, so you can be able to copy it. But there's this, the front end. I would not like us to waste any time on this, so I'll be copying that. For the rest of the code, you can just follow through. So I'm using Markdown. I'll just add the file here, up.py. So this is Python, up.py. So we're good now. So the first thing we're going to do is have icons. And the icons, I have already created them. So I used Canva to create them, and you can also do the same. And we'll have the three folders. We'll have a data folder where we'll have all our PDFs, and I can just upload that immediately. So there is an AI PDF that I got off the internet from Cincinnati University. So here I just searched PDF on AI, and I was able to find this nice PDF on artificial intelligence. It's about 71 pages. So this will show you the power that the AI has and how much it can do for you. So that we have. So of course I have an error here because I don't have Streamlit. So import stream as st. This is why I had this error here, but that should clear out. The next thing I need is we need an icons folder, and that is what I'm going to create. So icons, and our icons, the only three icons I'm using is the student PNG. I'm also using the logo as I don't know why that sounds perverted, but bear with me. I did not realize it while I was creating it, and the assistant logo. So those are three icons that we need. So I don't think we will need anything else. And again, just save that. And now we can go on to create the code itself. Make sure to add this to your CV, and also make sure to add this to your portfolio so that you can showcase to employers when you're trying to find something. So let's just have a link for our user icon. So our user icon, so as you can see, it's just on one level up. So one level up, and then we have icons, and then the name. The user icon should be, I used the student one because it's a reader. Student dot is a PNG, and then I have the assistant logo. So let me just copy this. I have this is should be the assistant icon, and then this should be assistant one. I also have my logo somewhere, so let me just put that in. So my logo should be from the same. So logo, and then logo as. I meant it to be logo assistant, but for some reason it sounds some other thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is now set up the app configuration. So this is the Streamlit. This is the Streamlit app config. That's what I'm going to do here. And of course you have streamlit.set. It should be set page config, I believe. Yeah, page config, and then we'll have that, and we can set up our page here. So we'll have a page title. I was hoping, yeah, I can get it here. The page title will be learner, and then we can have the page icon. Let's go ahead and put that in. I believe I'm using this one or any other one that you want to use. And then our layout, we want it centered, and then the next thing we want is the initial sidebar state, which should be an auto. So that is, these are configurations for Streamlit. I'm not sure where this error is coming from, but I'll just save it and let's see. Streamlit dot setup page config. How is it not closed? And it's closed here. So I think it's my laptop that has not dotted. I just leave it like that for now, and then we will check if there is any issue, because I don't see an issue with the code here. It says it's not closed, but it's closed. But I think I haven't put commas. That is the reason. Yeah, so we are good with the configuration, and we already have our markup. So as you can see, you already have the CSS here. I'll just explain a bit. So we have the font family, we have the block container, we have the main header, we have the chat message, the user message, the assistant message, and then we have the audio, because we have 11 labs. We're using 11 labs. So the next thing I'm going to do is set up my OpenAI key, and there's one other folder we will need. If you're running this on your local, just create streamlit, and then also have, should be secrets, I believe, secrets, and ensure to put these on should be secrets.html. That is what they say from the documentation, and ensure to put these on, what do you call it, on your gitignore file if you're pushing it to GitHub, so that you avoid exposing your credentials. So we'll go ahead into OpenAI. I have OpenAI here, and I can just create my key. So Lana AI. I want to give it all permissions. I can copy this. So on copying this, I'll just call this OpenAI key, then just have it there. So that should be good now. So I should be able to call OpenAI from here. And I think there's one thing I missed on Streamlit, and that is setting up the title. So this is a learning helper. So let's set up OpenAI. Set up OpenAI key. So the OpenAI key, first of all, we will need to import OpenAI from Llama index. So let me just get that. So from Llama index should be .llms.openai import OpenAI. That is what I want. I hope you got that. We installed Llama index on while doing the setup, so you should be okay with that. So what I want to do is have OpenAI. There's also one other thing I need to import. I think I'll have to pip install OpenAI, but it's okay. We can still do that from. We need to combine that with OpenAI. Yeah, that. So OpenAI dot API underscore key. And then where is our key? Our key, of course, is on streamlit dot secret. And then what is the name of that key? What did I call it here? Just copy it there and put that in. So we should be okay with the OpenAI key, and that should enable you to now be able to start using it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to load all my documents. I'm also going to have I'm going to have one small container below the title here that will just explain what the application does. And let me just do that very quickly. So with, of course, I am using streamlit dot the container, container, streamlit dot container, and then as the title, what did I call it? Title container. I think, I'm not sure if I have done, yeah, I'm not sure if I have done any styling on this, but this is the name I'm looking out for. You can feel free to customize this how you best feel. So sorry, I seem to have clicked the wrong thing. Sorry about that. I need that to go down there, and then we can now have some info there in this container. So here you will see ability can say ability to query all your documents. Query all your documents. So that will be set up somewhere, and then I also need the logo that we used. So the logo should be here, logo dot st.image. So you can look at the documentation for Streamlit to be able to see how we just pass these things like image and how you do the information, the title. So these are all pre-built onto Streamlit. So logo, I call it logo as.png. Yeah. So we are good now. So the first thing I want us to do is load all our data. So we'll have a function here, function to load and index data. Index data. There's no need to keep running this. I think we'll just run it once we are done. So of course we'll need caching so that when we don't have to keep reloading the data. So that's why we need this cache resource. And then of course I want to show my spinner here. So you might see something like the AI is thinking or something like that. So load, I want to call it load data. So let's bring this up here. And I also think I need to increase this a bit. Yeah. Oh, one more. That should be okay. And then we can close that. So now let's with of course a spinner. So this is from Streamlit with st.spinner. What do we want to do when we have a spinner? So sorry, keep clicking the wrong thing. View, sorry. So we want to inform the user what is happening. So loading and indexing your documents. So that could take a minute or two, but I do not want to put that in. And then from there, what we'll now have is now our data. So this is where you load the data. So the data, first of all, we'll have where is our directory. So we'll use a directory reader and we'll have a web reader. So this is my directory reader, and I'm going to use simple directory reader, and this comes from, let's just import that up there. So obviously from llama index, so import llama index dot simple web reader. Is it simple? No, that is for the web. For the document should be from core index.core, and then import. I'll need a vector store index, and I'll also need a vector store index. So the vector store index, how we'll be using it is after we load the data, we create a vector store index where we have the searchable knowledge base. So that is where the AI will be going to search for information. So import. So this is I think from llama index import vector store index. So that's the first thing, vector store index. What else do I need? Simple directory reader, and finally I also need service context. We'll start with our simple directory reader here as we create. So this should be my simple directory reader, and then where is this directory? So I have an input directory, and the directory, as you can see, is in dot data, the one that we created, dot slash data. So one level up into data, and then of course we want it to be recursive. So my recursive will be true. So that is a directory reader. So those are the first documents, and then let's just break them down. So let's just load them. That's what I mean. And then directory reader dot load my data, and I'm good. So now the next thing I need to load is load the web pages, because there was, as I had shown before, I had gotten this data from this link, the PDF here. This is the link I had gotten it from, so that's the link I'll be serving onto simple web reader. And I think I'll just come up here and from llama index dot web to web, or is dot readers dot web, import simple index simple web page reader. This is what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'll also need to do this, but we can be doing this, can be installing while we are here. So this one, let it install as we go on. So let's just go back there. So this is what I'm looking for, and then of course the import is here, this, to avoid any hiccups later. So as that installs, let's just go on. So let's load our web pages, which is our next step. So loading the web pages, you'll need two things. First of all, you need the, what do you call it, the URLs themselves. So web page, you can call them web page URLs. Then I can have them in web page URLs, and then sorry, why is this web page URL needed here? Copy, and there you go. Sorry, web page URLs. So there is our web page URL. The next thing now is we need to indicate that this is an HTML file, and also we need to load this. So what we'll have to do is we'll have another reader, which is our web page reader, and then this reader will use simple web page reader, and then we'll have to indicate that HTML, it's HTML, but we want it in text form, and that is okay. And then docs, the documents from the web will be web underscore reader, not that, web underscore reader, and then we need to load also load data. It's the same thing as what we were doing, but remember this one has the web page URLs, this there. So you need to get the web page reader. So this is simple web page reader, and then by ensure that you state that it's HTML. Actually, I think I made a mistake on this, because this is just a PDF download link. So we would actually not need this, not need to do this, but we can find anything on explanation of artificial intelligence, so that we see also if the combination will work. So we can take this by Coursera. I just want to show you how to do the links. So there, and then sorry, okay, so you need to pass .html, and then that's it, so that I show you how to do the web page. So I think I'll push this change. I think I did not notice that was a PDF, but it's okay. So we need to combine them. So our docs, of course, will be equals to what we have from docs from the directory, and also what we have from the web. So those two. So there we have our docs. So the next thing we need to do is we need to index this. So here is where the API comes in. This is where ChatGPT or OpenAI comes in, and then we create a service context with the OpenAI model, and then index the documents at the next stage. So let's create a service context. Let's create a service context, and we'll have service, of course. Service, we call it, let me just call it service context to avoid crashing with the other one. And then we import a service context somewhere, and then from default, what do we need to pass now? Here we need to pass our LLM, and our LLM will have what he had OpenAI from. So what model are we using? For me, I'm using GPT 3.5. GPT, this is how you write it, GPT 3.5, then Turbo. I hope I'm getting the name correct. For temperature is the creativity of the model. Sometimes if you put the creativity too high, it ends up hallucinating, and especially because we want it to get data from our knowledge base. So, and then we have the prompt. So you can tell it you are a learning assistant, provide content in an ordered form, or you can just say anything you want there, so long as it keeps it on the get rails. I think I forgot commas here again. That should be okay. So that's the service context. Let's now create our vector index. That should be the next thing. I hope we are following. Indexing the documents, we can just call this an index, and then what we need is the vector store index, and then from underscore documents, and then what do we need? The docs themselves. So these are the combined documents. Those are from the web and from the directory, and then we'll pass our service context. So that should be good. So that you're not confused, this is where is it? This is a service context you're passing with the model and the temperature and the prompt. So now the only thing this function now will have to do is return us this index. You might be wondering, why am I still not running the code? The reason I'm not running it is I do not have a front end to show. I do not have the mapping of the texts or the messages, and also the assistant where the question will be. So that's why I'm not running it yet. But just bear with me. We are about to complete this. So index and then load the data. We just need to load this data that we have just gotten. So if I may explain again, we have a directory reader which gets all the documents from here, the data. So it will get this PDF, and then sorry, we have a web reader which is using simple web page reader, and then docs from there. And then we'll get docs from the web. We combine them, and then we have a service context, and then we load this into a vector store. So if in simple terms, this is a searchable knowledge base that the AI will be able to query from. So the next thing we need to do, I need to initiate or initialize a chat message history so that we are able to see our messages. So chat history should be here. So if, of course, I call it a message from the styling or messages, it's not null. So if it's not null, d dot the session state. I want to set up the session state. No, I think I made a mistake here. So I need to set up the session state, and the streamlit dot the session state dot messages, and then let's now show the messages. So this is an assistant, of course. This is the assistant. Then what message do you want to pass to the user? The content is ask me anything on your documents. Documents, and then I don't have any audio on this. So this can be none. So this can go as none. And I think we have set up now, we have initialized the chat message history. The next thing we'll need is The next thing we need now is the chat engine. So chat engine. So very quickly, let's create the chat engine. So it's just the same. If chat, let's go engine, not in the session state. Let's create session state and then the chat underscore engine. And then we have our index files. So index dot as we want it to return as a chat engine, and then verbose. We can have verbose there as true. So I'm just building up the chat interface so that it looks like what you see on, what do you call them, on social media apps. So the next thing is I need to create a function to call now my text to speech, because I'm getting text from the API or from OpenAI, and then I want this to be taken to 11 Labs as a text so that I have an audio. You just copy it from the repository instead of typing it out. It's just a simple function. I had some issues creating it before, but I found this was the best method for Python. Unlike when you're using, what do you call it, when you're using Node.js. So you can see this is a function. I pass text. This is a URL. Here, this is a voice ID. So you have to select a voice that you have, and I'm just going to show you that. So here, if you come to voices, you have to select a voice that you have. So this is the ID that you copy. So ensure you have an ID that is existent, and then I need to get this in my secret. I didn't close that. Then just come here, click on your user, click on your API, and then just copy that. That is what need for the voice, and the HTML should be okay. And then the context, the content type, that is just put JSON. And then this is a text. I'm using 11 multilingual version 2. I think they have 4 versions. Just check what you need. And as for stability and similarity, make sure you put 0.75, because I found this is where you don't have the most stuttering, because sometimes the AI might stutter. And then a request, of course, I need to import the requests, and somebody can just guess which is how do you import requests. It should just be simple import requests. That should be okay. So now that we have the function for text to speech, we have set up our engine. We have also set up the bare metal for the messages. We just need one more thing. We need to know how we display these messages, and the displaying now is where we'll use our, what do you call it, we'll be able to use, I'm just feeling we're spending too much time, so I'll just get this one was a bit long for the display of the messages. It was a bit long, but I'll just explain it here. So this is display chat messages. So you get the message. So for message, in message, determine the CSS class to use. So the CSS, we passed it as markup here, or markdown. So you can see you have the various classes there. So user, if it's a user message, just show the role is a user, and then if it's not a user message, it's the assistant message. And then we have the column 1 and column 2. So you just be able to spread them as you like. Then you display the icon. This is how we display the icon. As you can see, I was telling you Streamlit has a few classes like image, title, and all that, so you can look at them. Then we wrap the message content with the appropriate styling classes. So we have the chat message, and then we have our audio. So our audio will be down here, and it's in MP3. So forgive my laziness for not wanting to write all that, But now the last thing or the final things you're going to do is incorporate the spinner. And then from incorporating the spinner, you're able to append the user message and then use the spinner to show thinking while you do that. And I think since I haven't changed much on that, I'll just also do the same for, guess I'll do the same here. Forgive me, sometimes it feels repetitive to write the same code again. So this is how we incorporate the spinner. So prompt, then chat input. It will ask you for your question. That is what will appear on the placeholder. We append the message. I have put as much explanation to this code as I could. So if it's a prompt, show them, enter your question there. If it's completed, if it's not completed, just show the spinner here. So it will be thinking. You can change this to whatever that you want, and then the chat engine generate the assistant's response. So and then from there we need the audio content. So I have an issue here, temp file. I think I just import that. Import temp. It should just be direct here. Import temp file. Let's close that. So there, and then we write the audio, and then we just complete that. Have the audio part there, and then append the assistant message. So the response will be there. The role of the assistant icon, and the audio part. And then we initialize the state. Yes. So then display chat messages. So this is a display function that we did not write. So you can see for messages, for message in messages. So the messages that we pass here, and then the CSS class and everything else. So now it's time for us to see if this thing works. Just ensure you are inside your environment and just do this. So streamlit run app.py. This should open up on your localhost, but for what do you call it, for the cloud version, you will not have to have this folder on .streamlit here. You'll have the advanced section where you select your repository, and then on advanced section, that is where you add the secrets here. But let's see if that runs. So it seems like I have an issue here. So no secret file found. I think the error I made is create the secrets subdirectory. So let's just delete that and put it directly on Streamlit. Let's see. So now it's loading and indexing the documents. Let's give it some time. So you can see the icon there. You can see the ability to query, and you can see the image here. So you can see the application is now up. Let's just find something to type here. So you can see ask me anything on the documents. Let's just ask it what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. So it has already created a vector index store on the documents and the link. So let's see, it's thinking. Let's see what it finds. So as you can see, it has found artificial intelligence demonstrated by machines in contrast to the natural intelligence displayed by humans and other humanity involves machines being able to learn and solve problems and all that. Let's listen to the audio.
Artificial intelligence, AI, is intelligence demonstrated by machines.
Yeah, so you can hear it has the audio, and we can also see it has picked the knowledge from either the link or the knowledge base. So that's how you're going to be able to create an AI system that will be able to understand your documents and also be able to, you can talk to it, you can listen in on the answers, and you can use this for your portfolio. You can use it to demonstrate to your friends, and you can also deploy it and sell to people. So bye bye guys, I hope you like this. Comment on anything that you like improved, and let's meet on the next video. Bye bye.